Shalom, shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all the praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachak, the blessed to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there, pushing this word out in truth and sincerity. It's your brother Chaim Apash coming at you with another lesson. And this lesson is going to be entitled Digital, it's going to be entitled The Digital ID. Is right now, we're about to move forward in this system to a digital system completely. All right, it's called gradualism. Okay, and the C19 helped to push that forward immensely. You know, they helped. The C19 helped to push forward that agenda very heavily. And there's going to be another event and other events, multiple events that are going to push the digital ID further, even further. Okay, so they tried it before in the UK and people rejected it. And they stopped it, but that was only a delay. Because these devils are going to move forward with their agenda one way or another, whether the people like it or not. They're just going to come with different angles and different ways to implement it. Just like the CBDC, it at first, they were coming through it. They're coming with it by the left. I mean, the left, as in the Democratic Party. They were saying that they're going to implement the CBDC, which is the central bank digital currency, and the people were against it, because it was coming from the left. And then Donald Trump came and told you he's going to bring forth a stable coin, which is the exact same thing as the CBDC. In theory, it's the exact same thing. They just called it a different name. And the right wingers are eating it up. So they're bringing in that digital system one way or another. Okay, and they're just coming with different angles and different ways of bringing it about, but they're pushing it forward nonetheless. And there's nothing that people can do about it, because this is what they're given orders to do. This is not coming from them. It's not coming from Donald Trump. It's not coming from these different prime ministers, premiers, or whatever. It's coming from their higher ups. Okay, it's coming from the elites that's telling them, yo, you have to implement this. Okay, you gotta find a way to pass this bill. All right, and they're just doing the bidding of their masters, man. They're hidden masters, and like we told you, eventually the microchip is going to be it's going to be mandatory. And when they first introduce it, it's going to be a voluntary thing, but then it's going to quickly turn from being voluntary to mandatory, right? And then if you don't have it, you'll be looked at as a threat to the society, an enemy of the state, okay? And the state being the world, really the world, okay, an enemy of the world, okay? If you refuse to take that, and that's all, that's all. That's what they're pushing forward to. And you can see how quickly one event can help can push their plans forward. So it's the same thing for the next event. It's going to push their plans forward immensely, even more than the C19 did. Okay, because they're bringing in this digital prison world. Okay, they're bringing this in by any means necessary, man. And you jakes that are not with Yahweh Shib Yahweh Shai, you're just out there. Hey, man, that's not a place you want to be, man. It's not a place you want to be. We need the protection of the angels in the time to come, man. Okay, we need the protection of the angels in the times to come. This is no joke, right? And there's a lesson I have that I'm getting ready to do. I was gonna do it today, but I didn't have enough time to do it before I had, before I came to camp. So I have to get ready to do that lesson, and it's gonna be about, how the Canada Post is basically being dissolved, and how that's leading to the digital system. How that ties in the Motb and all that, and I got to do that lesson. Lord willing, I could do that. Uh, you know, very very soon. But yeah. When I say very soon, I'm talking about like tomorrow. But yeah, the ultimately, man, Esau Edom, he knows that he's at the end of his society, the end of his kingdom, and he's orchestrating the end to come faster so that he can set up a new world order, thinking that he's going to rule forever in that new world order, and that's not going to happen. Okay, that's not going to happen at all. You Edomites are finished. Okay, the Heavenly Father set the bounds that you cannot pass. Okay, so all of this stuff that you're trying to do with, trying to live forever, trying to download your spirit into a database or whatever, use AI to live longer, or all these different things you're trying to do, is gonna fail. It's gonna fail. Okay, in this digital system, you're gonna have it up and running for a short period of time, but that's gonna fail. Okay, and that's what we trust in. We trust in the fact that Yahweh Shai is going to bring this kingdom down. While they're getting ready to fill their belly, that the Lord is going to bring His wrath upon them. So they're not going to be able to really settle in to that system. But they're gonna get to the point of it being established. But right when it's established is right when it's going to be taken down. Okay, that's why we say that when they implement the Motb, things are going to move real quick. We can be out of there in a matter of months, right? Because it's not going to be too long that's going to be going on. Okay, but they're going to come down hard. They're going to come on hard. They're going to come down swiftly. They're going to come down with wrath. All right, and the only ones that's going to withstand that wrath is the elect. The elect is gonna they're not going to care. They're going to tell them, chop off our heads, do what you got to do. But whatever you do, we're not taking that shit. Whatever you do, we're not taking it. Okay, that's the mindset of the elect, and that's one of the reasons that they're gonna be even more wroth with the woman. Okay, speaking about the Israelites, specifically the elect, they're gonna be wroth with the elect based upon the fact they're not accepting their digital system. That's going to be another reason why they're pissed off. On top of being exposed, they're pissed off because we're not willing to accept it. All right? Our ways are of another fashion. We're not like the people of this world. The people of this world are going to accept it. Okay? King 6'8", he's going to accept the microchip. All right? That dude, he received this consolation on this side, man. Yeah, man. You know? The people of this world, man, they're gonna want to keep this thing going, man. They're having a fantastic time in this world. They're living it up, man. They're how does it say? They're calf gendereth not. You know, which is a allegory of good fortune. You know, people in this world they got good fortune compared to the elect. Especially the heathen. The heathen, man, they're just things just fall in line for them in general. Of course, think that those things are changing now. Things are changing because this world is falling. But you know, as this world is, while this world was going on, while it was business as usual, they were doing good compared to the elect. Okay, they were doing good. But now we're at the end of this society. So now everyone's starting to do bad, except for those that are well off. Everyone is really starting to feel the pain. Okay, because things are getting increasingly more and more expensive. You know, and it's not getting your wages are not going up. So that's just a recipe for suffering. Okay, that's all that leads to, suffering. And then relationships are finished in the society. In the West, relationships are done. Okay, Esau's way of life, his feminism, has destroyed relationships. Okay, so these people are they're depressed. Okay, they're all messed up in the spirit, right? That's why the scriptures say that the earth languisheth, the haughty people of the earth languish, mean they're in a weak spirit. And we be in a spirit a lot of times that's like blah blah spirit, demotivated spirit, man, and that's all. That's this damn kingdom, man. You know, it's not an energy that we're supposed to be in. We're not supposed to be in this spirit of just you're tired, but it's not that you're necessarily physically tired, or you're worn out physically. It's more of like a mental tiredness, like your spirit is tired. This is what I be feeling. I be feeling like my spirit is tired. My spirit is fatigued. Not about my I could just wake up from a good rest, and my spirit is fatigued. Right? That's why the scriptures say that they have worn out the saints, man. Okay, we're worn out in this place, man. Okay, and this is what strengthens our desire for the kingdom. Okay, strengthens our desire for the kingdom. You know, and ultimately, man, hey, man, this Motb system is good for us because we're coming into a point. That means what? That means that we're at the end of the society. It means that our time is coming much closer. That's why we don't mind the Motb system. We like that. We like the fact that it's coming quick. We like the fact UK is doing what they're doing. Because it brings us closer to the end of this place. You know. So, anyways, Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. I want to give all the praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Achakadash. The glorious to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutations, much love and respect to you, Akim, out there, pushing this word out in truth.